I do want to show you all how I made my bow. And some of you might not like the way I make them because, okay, so when I cook, I am a little bit of this, a little bit of that kind of a cook. So therefore, I don't really bake very well because baking takes a lot of precise measurements, whereas cooking, you know, you can cook and then throw your seasonings, a little bit of this and a little bit of that into it, where that's kind of how I cook. Therefore, I'm not a very good baker. I'm not precise. And it kind of overflows into other parts of my life. And the way I make my ribbons, it's the same thing. I don't precisely measure the way I make my ribbons. I make them according to what size my project is and what my needs are. For this particular project, the wreath, I needed a little bit bigger bow. But if the project was smaller and called for a smaller sized bow, then I would go a little smaller on the bow. So let me just show you what I would do. So first thing, you get your ribbon and you kind of unroll it just a little bit. And first thing you're going to do is decide how long of a tail that you want to leave, okay? So judging from, I'm going to say I'm doing a smaller sized project, not tiny, but not as big as a full-size wreath. So I'm going to leave about that size of a tail, okay? So I'm going to pinch that together. All right, that's going to be the middle of my bow. All right, and then I'm going to make a loop. All right, and I like the looks of that size. So I'm going to keep my tail down, right? And you can already see the bow, the ribbon, the bow taking shape, can you not? All right, and so you're gonna bring that around, make another loop, okay? All right, you got that. Pinch that together and add it. Now that side, that might look a little bit longer than the first loop. I don't know, you can eyeball it. Now you can measure this out, really. If you're the type that needs to have it measured, you can measure it. You can start your ribbon by laying it down on your ruler and measuring that first loop out. And then you're gonna make your second loop the exact same length, okay? All right, so then I'm gonna make my second loop the same size, roughly. You're gonna keep those scrunchies in the middle together, okay? Keep all that together. We're going to scrunch all that up. Okay, we're going to make that loop. There's your second loop. I'm going to come back and match that loop roughly. All right, so there you go. You've got 2 loops already. Okay, that left hand is working hard, keeping all of that together. Then you come back, you're going to match that again. Now you can sit them on top of each other if you want, because later you're going to fan them out. This is a great ribbon, actually. I'll be honest. This is a great ribbon. All right. So we've got 3 on this side. We got 2 on this side. I'm going to stop at 3 loops. Now you can keep going. You can make as many loops as you want, as you can hold. Okay. So I've got 3 loops on each side, and I'm scrunching them in the middle as I go. So we've got 1 tail here, right? We've got 1 tail, 3 loops on each side. Okay, now you're going to take this to make your other tail. Make sure everything is scrunched together. You're going to bring it behind, and you're going to wrap, making sure you keep everything together. Okay, I'm going to wrap that around. Wrapping around to give you your center. Keep everything. There, let me get this. Make sure your loops are straight. They don't get all twisted. Okay, make sure they're flat and they stay that way. Okay. I'm finagling it in the back. So I'm scrunching it up in the back. So it's small. You gotta get that middle small. Okay, and you're gonna wrap that around. And this takes some maneuvering, guys, I'm not gonna lie. But it's not hard. Once you do it a couple of times, it really isn't hard. Okay? Now, in the back, if you look at that, you have the pattern that it doesn't match. Okay, so in the back, what you're gonna do is get it together and make sure I'm in frame, and you're gonna twist that bad boy. You're gonna twist that in the back where nobody can see that it's twisted. And there you go. There's your pattern, okay? Okay. Then, I'm actually going to keep this bow. All right. Well, maybe not. Okay, so, because I used the whole spool, and that's not what I wanted to use it for. All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut that tail even. Okay, so you're going to cut it all the way off. All right, then you can take your glue gun, tighten that up as much as you need to, the middle part. Okay, you can turn that over. Then you're going to take this back piece. You're going to take your glue gun. And you're going to put a little bit of glue right there in the middle. Okay, and you're going to lay that down, the twisted part. Take that and lay that right down, right there. And make sure that's glued real good. That's what I did with my ribbon, okay? So you have your ribbon. Now I'm going to switch back over to mine. Because here that is. All right? So I've got my ribbon made. I've got both of my tails. They're very rough looking. I put my glue on the back. Now, from here, I like a dovetailed look. So what I'm going to do, first of all, this is how the ribbon started. This is where the ribbon started. It's got a really bad crease in it. The first thing I'm going to do is cut that off. I don't care how much you bend it back and forth. You will never get that initial crease out of that ribbon. Maybe you can pull your iron out and get it out. I don't know. So let's go ahead and see if we can't even that up. Now I'm going to dovetail this. So I'm going to fold that in half. Take my scissors, cut like that, instant dovetail. I'm going to do the other side, same way, cutting from the outside up, dovetail. Okay, so that's even. Now look, you can always shorten it more if you don't like the length, if it's too long. You can never put that length back on. You can never glue it back on. You can never put that back on. So make sure you start out long. You can always go back and shorten it some more if you don't like the length.